Hey guys, welcome to February 2018 roundups. February? I have a lot of things to talk about, so let's get started. Nipple Coverups. Shimera, S-H-I-M-E-R-A gel petals, but this is the one that I actually really like. Hollywood Fashion Secrets, and you can buy this at Walgreens, CVS, any drugstore. So I only found out that I could buy this at like CVS yesterday. I normally don't go to Walgreens, but the first time I bought this, it was on a trip to New York and I was hanging out with my friend. And we went to a place called Dwayne Reed's. And Dwayne Reed is actually what they call Walgreens in the New York City area. And I didn't know that, so I was like, oh my god, I can only buy this at Dwayne Reed when I go to New York. And then I find out that CVS sells it too. Why I don't like this one and why I like this one, I'm going to show you guys. So this one from Shimera, it's still very sticky. I've worn this one once. This is new, so I haven't worn it at all, and that's why it still has the cover. But do you see the difference? This one is very perky and it's quite thick. It's almost like putting another boob on top of your boob, like putting more fat on your boob, while this one, it just covers your nipples, you know? That's why I prefer this one a lot more, because when I put this on and I put on my shirt, I was like, ugh, that looks kind of weird. This one does really nice too, like it has two separate sections, one for each boob. Those are the silicone cover-ups. Ulta eyeliners. I tried this with primer, without primer, and it just transfers everywhere. It transfers all over my lid, under my eyes. Not my favorites. The colors are really creamy, and I think that's why it transfers a lot. Like I could just do this and woo, all of a sudden the color's gone. And so it just, I don't know, it doesn't do what I want it to do, and that's why I'm going to pass on these. Next two, we're going to talk about our lip products, and these are on my no-no list. RK by Kiss Forever Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Nini. This is the one that I bought when I was drunk and I went to CVS, and it looks like Kylie lip kits. The brush is kind of cool. It has that little pocket, so it's supposed to give you the right amount of a product to put all over your lips. And I love the color. The application is okay. You can't really double up on the layer because it just, like, I don't know if you can tell right there, it's just not layering properly. And then the other thing is when it dries down, it really hurts. One time I've tried putting lip gloss on top to see if it would hurt less. It's still very painful, so I'm just like, no, I don't want to waste any time on products that just give me a little bit of pain. NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color Ibiza. And I actually have another color in this same formula that I think I like, but who knows, maybe next month it'll go on my roundups as a no-no list, we'll see. Right here on my hand, it looks good and I love the color. When I put it on my lips, it accentuates all the fine lines in my lips, and I'm like, I look crazy. It don't look good. I have two more passes. I guess I don't have any makeup that I'm super loving right now. Like, next month. I'll try better for next month. CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Concealer in the color Light Medium. And initially I bought this because I wanted to use it as for my under eye. But it doesn't work because it highlights all the fine lines, whether you put powder on top or not. Nothing worked for me, so I was like, no thank you. Next, I was like, okay, I'm just going to use this concealer as a highlight area. And every time that I did, whenever I go back and check the mirror, it just looks dry and flaky. And I'm like, ooh, that is not a good look. So, hard pass on that. And the last thing on the no-no list is this Etude House Play 101 Blending Pencil in number 1. And the reason that I bought this is because one of my favorite makeup artist, Coni makeup, she used this in one of her makeup tutorials. It's a beautiful color. It just, you probably can't tell from this, but the color distribution is not great. It's patchy in certain areas and it's heavy. It looks really heavy in other areas. So for example, I use this in my inner corner and it looks decent on my left eye, but always for my right eye, It looks really patchy and doesn't blend well on this eye. I just tried this on yesterday. It's a sheet mask, and then after I took it off, I just couldn't move my face because it felt like I just received Botox, I'm assuming. Everything was just firm, and I was like, holy crap. This is from the brand Coni Beauty, which is Coni, and this is from Taiwan, so if you're in Taiwan, you can buy this Snail Essence All-Round Repairing Mask. The mask contains active ingredient extracted from the snail mucus membrane that remarkably beautifies, conditions, nourishes, and hydrates your skin, repairs dry and rough skin, delays wrinkles and fine lines, and prevents skin aging. So good. Like I said, it had that Botox effect, and the essence, all the essence, it feels really good. One of the best masks that I've ever used. I have 2 TV shows to recommend. The first one is The Good Place. It features Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. Many of you guys have probably heard about the premise or maybe like watched a little bit. I've had people come up to me and be like, I'm not sure how they're going to extend the plot after season 1, but they do, and it's great. I feel like right now, they just finished season 2, I think, is just as funny as it was in season 1. The TV show is about these people who die and then go to the good place. It's so funny, and all of the different characters, like I love how there's so many characters that you can grasp onto. The second TV show that I want to recommend is available on Netflix, and it is called One Day at a Time. It is a remake of another TV show back in, I think like the 1990s, I'm not positive. It is about a Cuban American family. The mom is a single mom, she is a veteran, and so she comes back and she has to kind of like deal with the aftermath of being a veteran. Divorced her husband, or her ex-husband, because he wouldn't get help, or he couldn't help himself, nor did he want to get help for treating his alcoholism. She has 2 kids, a daughter and a son, and the daughter turns out to be lesbian, and you find this out like season 1, episode 3, 4 maybe. And she also lives with her mom, who escaped Cuba under Fidel Castro's dictatorship. Am I using the right word? I hope so. Every episode deals with something different, and it's just very relatable. You don't have to be Cuban American to appreciate it. The episode that really called out to me is in season 2, when Penelope, that's the mom, she decides to go off her meds because she wants to live her life not on medication. And you kind of see like what kind of toll it takes on her. Her best friend is the building manager of the apartment that she lives in. You see how he, Snyder, and her mom go through to be there for her. And it's super touching. I cried. And then I watched it again. Still cried. It's really good. It's very relatable. It's very humanizing. I have 3 podcast episodes to recommend. The first one is from More Perfect Podcast. It is called One Nation Under Money. An assuming string of 16 words tucked into the Constitution grants Congress extensive power to make laws that impact the entire nation. The Commerce Clause has allowed Congress to intervene in all kinds of situations, from penalizing one man for growing too much wheat on his farm to enforcing the end of racial segregation nationwide. This seemingly all-powerful tool has the potential to unite the 50 states into one nation and protect the civil liberties of all. But it also challenges us to consider, when we make everything about money, what does it cost us? The next one that I want to recommend is another Tim Ferriss podcast. And Tim Ferriss, if you don't remember, he's the guy who has like 2 to 3 hour, no, 3 hours, a little insane, 1 to 2 hour podcast episodes. Very interesting, but it's just very lengthy. This one is with Catherine Hoke, the master of second chances. Catherine Hoke, she works with a lot of incarcerated people, and you learn about her as a person because she's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But she's very upfront with her imperfections. And actually, when I was in New York, I did this workout called Con Body, and it came out through one of her programs. The programs that she works with it's kind of like Shark Tank for prisoners. These prisoners, they can get a full MBA while they're in prison, and at the end of it, they have to do a business pitch to real entrepreneurs and investors. Con Body actually came out of that. So the company is created and ran run by an ex-con, and all of the trainers are also ex-cons. My ass was kicked during that workout. Yesterday was Monday? We did the workout on Saturday. Thighs were still burning. And then I went to the gym and kind of like stretched out my thighs. So we're good today. It really brings in the idea that ex-cons, they're humans too. They make mistakes just like everybody else. It just so happens that their mistake had huge consequences on communities and people's lives. But they're still human and they deserve a second chance. I really enjoyed hearing things from her perspective, why she got into the business of working with incarcerated people. Last podcast that I want to recommend, and this is a new one, it is called Armchair Expert, and it's by Dax Shepard. Yes, Dax Shepard, Kristen Bell's husband. Kristen Bell, the love of my life, or like my #1 girl crush. And this interview is with Kristen Bell. They're not like, oh my god, you're my husband, I love you so much, you're amazing, you're perfect. It's very, very real, and actually the podcast starts off with them fighting. I learned so much about both of them. What you see in interviews like Jimmy Kimmel and Seth Meyers, it's very different from, or it's just like a sliver, a little sneak peek of like who they are as people. And you would always assume that like, oh, Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard, they must be so similar and that's why they work well together. They are complete opposites, and I found that out through this podcast episode. All right, last thing I want to talk about is my roommate, Jin. You guys saw her in my skiing video. She is moving to Miami in less than a month. And I'm really sad. I actually like look forward to the time like she gets back home or I get back home and we're just both on this table working. She works on her website, her art, and I just work on my videos and, you know, GMAT stuff and a lot of other shit. It's weird, but I feel like we've gone through a lot together. Like we've seen each other through our low times, you know, and that was 2017. Oh, wait, I wanted to show you one thing from Jin. So I'm gonna link her Instagram in the description box below. Make sure to go follow her. She really wants to promote her own art, but our Asian culture kind of like holds us back a little bit because we never want to be too braggy or anything about that. So I am going to brag for her. She is amazing. She started drawing a lot more ever since, you know, 2018 started. And she would always come back and be like, hey, like, I just did this. Will you check it out? And sometimes she asks me for my opinion and I'm like, whoa, thank you. It makes me feel good for like you to care about my opinion. Anyways, this is my favorite art of hers. And one day she came back, she was like, Julie, I have something for you. And I'm like, yeah, what's up, what's up? And she goes, here you go. And it is so beautiful. I love this piece because it reminds me of like being in a desert, but in that desert you have a little bit of a oasis, kind of. I didn't realize the camera shut off. All I really wanted to say was show Jin some love. She's an awesome human being. I'm gonna miss her so much, but I think she's gonna do great in Miami. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Next video, who knows? I feel like right now I'm doing one video a week, and that's just because I'm super slumped. But at least there's a video a week, you know? I'll see you guys next time. Peace! My name is
Juliet!
with a nugget of chua.